The House of the Dead Sega Arcade. Step into the House of the Dead where the only thing scarier than the zombies is how bad you'll feel when they eat your face off. Armed with nothing but a gun and a thin layer of courage, you'll blast through waves of undead abominations in a mansion that makes a haunted house look like a cozy Airbnb. Keep your trigger finger ready, because if you pause to take a breath, something's gonna bite it off. It's a heart-pounding roller coaster, and let's just say no one's leaving this house with a security deposit refund. Maldita Castilla. Oh yeah, Maldita Castilla, or Cursed Castle, isn't just a nod to ghosts and goblins. It's a full-on medieval horror nightmare that looks pixel-perfect on the Ouya of all places. In a time when modern consoles ruled, the Ouya still managed to deliver this punishingly difficult retro platformer with graphics that hit all the nostalgic buttons. You're a brave knight slashing your way through cursed lands filled with demons, monsters, and more eerie ambience than a haunted graveyard. Every leap feels like life or death, and trust me, it'll be death more often than you'd like. If you survive, it's not luck. It's pure nerve-wracking skill. Resident Evil 4, PS2. It's just another day in the life of Leon S. Kennedy, saving the president's daughter from a creepy village overrun by monstrous cultists. Resident Evil 4 doesn't ease you into the terror. It throws you into a village full of parasites that turn people into terrifying mutants. And the villagers, not exactly the welcoming type. Between popping off headshots and dodging chainsaws, there's barely a moment to breathe. But don't worry, Leon's cheesy one-liners will lighten the mood.
Don't want to get any parking tickets.
Right. Parking tickets.
Good luck.
Right before you get cornered by yet another grotesque creature that makes you question every life choice up until that moment. Lollipop Chainsaw, PS3. High school cheerleading, zombies, and a chainsaw. What could go wrong? In Lollipop Chainsaw, Juliet Starling doesn't just battle the undead with grace, she does it with glitter. This horror comedy is as bloody as it is over the top. With Juliet turning zombie slaying into an art form, her chainsaw tears through waves of gory undead. All the while her boyfriend's decapitated head provides some much-needed comic relief. It's all fun and games until the zombies start singing. And trust me, they do. If Buffy the Vampire Slayer had a chainsaw, this is probably how things would go down. Deathsmiles Arcade. Deathsmiles is here to remind you that dodging bullets in a gothic hellscape can be a magical and terrifying experience. This bullet hell shooter puts you in the shoes of magical girls battling demons, witches, and all kinds of nightmarish creatures. The screen fills with projectiles and your only goal, survive by the skin of your teeth while looking fabulous. The art style may be cute, but the game's intensity will leave your palms sweating. It's a twisted blend of horror and charm, where the only thing scarier than the enemies is realizing you're out of lives. Escape from Monster Manor, 3DO. Think your house is haunted? Try Escape from Monster Manor, a labyrinthian monster-filled mansion straight out of your worst nightmares. This early 3D first-person shooter may be dated, but that doesn't stop it from cranking up the tension as you creep through hallways filled with ghosts, ghouls, and the occasional skeleton looking for trouble. It's a race to escape with your life and maybe your sanity, all while the game's retro graphics add a certain old-school charm to the horror. And remember, doors creak for a reason. MediEvil, PSP. In MediEvil, you're Sir Dan Fortesque, a skeleton knight trying to redeem himself after an embarrassing death. This humorous action-adventure sees you battling through a world full of undead, monsters, and more than a few bad puns. It's all spooky, all quirky, and when you're a knight with more bone than brawn, it's hard not to find the humor in getting smacked around by zombies. The PSP version keeps the gothic charm alive while giving the graphics a nice polish. If you thought being a hero was hard, try doing it without any skin.
If I were a failed one-eyed warrior, I'd make myself scarce, mate.
Clock Tower, Super Nintendo. There's something deeply unsettling about knowing that Clock Tower gives you no weapons and no way to fight back. You're Jennifer, a terrified young girl, trapped in a mansion with a relentless killer known as Scissor Man. And your only option? Run. This survival horror game cranks up the tension with every step, every hiding spot, and every moment where you think you're safe, until you're not. Scissor Man is lurking and he's not in the mood to talk. The only thing sharper than his scissors is your need to get the hell out of there. Halloween, Atari 2600. It's you versus Michael Myers in Halloween on the Atari 2600. And believe me, those 8-bit graphics don't make him any less terrifying. As you scramble to save as many kids as possible, Myers stalks the halls, ready to slice and dice. Sure, the graphics may be primitive, but the dread is real. Especially when that signature music kicks in, and you know he's coming for you. The game may look simple, but surviving a pixelated slasher is anything but. Castlevania Bloodlines, Sega Genesis. Dracula's back and he's brought friends. In Castlevania Bloodlines, you take on the role of two vampire hunters battling through Europe's darkest, creepiest locales. Armed with a whip and some serious determination, you'll fight everything from demons to undead knights in this classic action platformer. The gothic atmosphere is thick and the challenge even thicker. One wrong move, and it's game over. Good thing your enemies have a taste for blood, because after a few levels, you'll be out for it too. Zombie Nation, NES. A giant floating samurai head fighting a zombie apocalypse in Zombie Nation. If that sentence didn't hook you, the game's chaotic energy will. It's not your typical zombie shooter. No, you're literally a disembodied head shooting lasers and destroying everything in sight. The weirdness somehow works, and before long you'll be laughing at the absurdity while fending off the undead. It's bizarre, but that's part of the charm. Just don't ask why you're a giant floating head. Some questions are better left unanswered. Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop. Nintendo Wii. Dead Rising Chop Till You Drop takes Frank West's chaotic mall adventure to the Wii, where every zombie-filled aisle is a chance to wield some motion-controlled mayhem. Sure, the visuals aren't quite as sharp as the original, but there's still something satisfying about turning whatever you can, garden tools, appliances, mannequins into a zombie-smashing weapon. And let's be honest, nothing says Halloween fun like mowing down a horde of undead while debating whether to pick up a chainsaw or a frying pan. Dead Space 2, Xbox 360. Strap in because Dead Space 2 takes everything terrifying about the original and dials it up to 11. Isaac Clarke isn't just fighting the horrors outside his head, he's battling his own mind, and the necromorphs are only getting nastier. The tight, claustrophobic corridors of the space station are full of jump scares, tension, and the unsettling feeling that something is always right behind you. But when the monsters come, don't scream, aim for the limbs, and hope you're faster than they are.
Help! I'm trying! I'm trying!